You might not feel it, not yet. But day after day, in the quiet corners of your body, where there's no pain, no alarms, something may be slowly wearing down. Something essential. Your kidneys, those two fist-sized organs nestled in your lower back, might be under more strain than you realize. Not from some dramatic illness or sudden collapse, but from the habits that sneak into your life without a second thought. A skipped glass of water here, a handful of salty snacks there, the daily routines we never question because they've become part of how we move through the world. Most people think kidney disease is something that just happens to someone else, somewhere down the road, a problem for diabetics or dialysis patients. But the truth is far more unsettling and far more hopeful, because it means we have more control than we think. And it also means we carry more responsibility. The damage doesn't come overnight, it builds quietly. It's the slow drip of poor circulation, unchecked blood pressure, too many processed meals, and too little rest. And for many older men, perhaps for you, that slow drip has been happening for years. I met Gerald in my clinic about a year ago. He was 62, broad-shouldered, but hunched from years of labor. A retired mechanic who'd always worked with his hands, he came in mostly because his wife insisted. She noticed his legs were swelling by the end of the day. He had no real complaints, just some fatigue, a bit of pressure in his lower back, trouble sleeping. We ran some routine labs, and what came back wasn't dramatic, but it was clear. His kidney function was slipping. Early-stage chronic kidney disease. The kind you can't feel, but that shortens lives just the same. He was confused, even a little defensive. I don't drink. I quit smoking years ago. I eat okay. But as we talked more, patterns began to emerge. Gerald drank maybe 1 glass of water a day. Coffee, yes, but not much water. He took ibuprofen almost daily for back pain. Dinner was often canned soup or cold cuts. Easy, salty meals that fit a tired evening. And like many men, he hadn't had a real checkup in years. It wasn't that Gerald was careless. He was doing what he thought was fine, what many of us think is fine. That's the heart of the issue. It's not about failure. It's about misunderstanding. Most of the damage we do to our kidneys doesn't come from dramatic choices, but from quiet daily habits. And the body, especially as we age, can only absorb so much before it starts to show the strain. The kidneys are remarkable organs. They filter your blood, over 50 gallons a day, removing waste, balancing minerals, regulating blood pressure, and even influencing your red blood cell count. Imagine an old coffee filter that's been rinsed and reused for decades, still doing the job, but a little thinner, a little more fragile. That's what aging does. And like that coffee filter, once too much damage is done, it can't simply bounce back, but it doesn't have to reach that point. That's the message Gerald needed to hear, and the one I want to offer you. We can protect and even support our kidneys' healing if we stop doing the things that quietly harm them. Let me walk you through 10 daily habits that can slowly chip away at kidney health. These aren't rare or extreme behaviors. In fact, they're common, which is exactly why they're dangerous. They hide in plain sight. The first, and perhaps most overlooked, is not drinking enough water. The kidneys need water the way a riverbed needs a current. Without it, waste builds up, minerals crystallize, and blood flow slows. Many older men live in a state of chronic dehydration and don't even realize it. Coffee, soda, or alcohol might quench thirst in the moment, but they don't nourish the kidneys. Imagine your kidneys trying to clean your blood without enough fluid. It's like trying to wash your car with a dry sponge. Second, excess salt. And I'm not talking about the salt you shake onto your food. The real culprit is the salt hidden in processed and packaged meals, frozen dinners, canned soups, deli meats, snacks. Salt causes the body to hold onto water, increasing blood pressure and making the kidneys work harder. Over time, that pressure wears down the delicate vessels inside the kidneys. It's not just about taste, it's about strain. Day after day, year after year. Then there's a habit most people never think twice about: holding in urine, whether it's from being too busy, not wanting to stop the car, or ignoring the urge during a TV show. The kidneys and bladder suffer when we delay emptying. It causes back pressure, can increase the risk of infection, and adds unnecessary stress to the entire urinary tract. It might seem like a small thing, but over time, it matters. Painkillers are another major player. NSAIDs, like ibuprofen or naproxen, are part of so many people's daily routine for joint pain, backaches, headaches. But every pill filters through your kidneys, and while the occasional dose isn't dangerous, regular use, especially without hydration, can silently scar kidney tissue. The irony is that the very medications we take to feel more mobile or sleep better can slowly take away the vitality we're trying to preserve. Animal protein, particularly red meat, is a more subtle contributor. It's not about vilifying steak or chicken. Protein is essential, but too much, especially without balance from plant-based foods, acidifies the blood. That acidity burdens the kidneys, which have to work harder to neutralize and excrete the waste products. A diet heavy in meat with little fiber or hydration becomes a constant uphill battle for the kidneys. Sugar might not seem like a kidney issue, but it is. Even in men without diabetes, repeated blood sugar spikes can cause micro damage to blood vessels, the same tiny vessels the kidneys rely on for filtration. It's like slowly corroding the pipes in a plumbing system. Over time, they narrow, stiffen, and leak. And because sugar doesn't cause immediate discomfort, we often miss the signs until damage has set in. Lack of movement is another silent factor. The kidneys thrive on circulation. When you move, even just walking, you increase blood flow throughout your body. That flow carries oxygen, clears waste, and keeps the internal systems flexible. A sedentary life slows everything down. The blood thickens, toxins linger, organs don't get the support they need. You don't need to run marathons, but your kidneys need you to move. Smoking, even the occasional cigar or just a few here and there, narrows blood vessels. And the kidneys are all about blood flow. They're full of tiny capillaries that filter every ounce of blood your heart pumps. Smoking, even socially or occasionally, cuts down their efficiency and accelerates decline. And perhaps the most dangerous habit of all, not paying attention, not getting labs, not checking blood pressure, not following up, not asking questions. Men are often raised to tough it out, to wait until pain is unbearable, or someone else insists. But kidneys rarely scream, they whisper, and by the time they raise their voice, the damage is often deep. One blood test, one urine test, that's often all it takes to get an early warning, but that only works if we choose to look. There's no blame here. I've seen these habits in men from every walk of life. Teachers, truck drivers, fathers, grandfathers. They're not the result of laziness or neglect. They're just patterns no one taught us to notice, and now, noticing them is the beginning of changing them. When I told Gerald about these habits, he was quiet, thoughtful. A man used to fixing problems with his hands now had to fix something inside himself. But slowly, he started making changes. He added a full glass of water to his mornings. He began reading sodium labels on his favorite soups. He switched from daily ibuprofen to stretching and magnesium. And as the months passed, his labs began to shift. Not dramatically, but steadily. His energy returned. His swelling eased. And most importantly, his belief in his body came back. Because that's the truth at the heart of this conversation. Your body wants to heal. It's not waiting for perfection. It's just waiting for a chance. There are simple, deeply effective ways to support your kidneys. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need expensive supplements or drastic diets. You need rhythm, ritual, a way of living that supports the quiet work happening inside you every hour of every day. And that's exactly where we'll go next. What those daily kidney-supporting rituals look like, and how to gently begin building them into your life, without pressure, without guilt. Just awareness and a quiet return to balance. So how do we begin that return to balance? Not through force, not by turning your life upside down, but by honoring the quiet necessary rituals that give your kidneys and your whole body the space to breathe again. These are not hacks or tricks, they're habits, as old and natural as the body itself. And when practiced gently, consistently, they do something powerful. They remind your body how to heal. Start with the first moment of the day. Before coffee, before emails, before you reach for anything else, drink a full glass of water. It doesn't have to be ice cold or flavored, just clean, room temperature water. You may not feel thirsty, but your kidneys are. Overnight, your body loses fluid through breathing, through skin. That morning, glass helps flush overnight waste, kickstarts circulation, and gives your kidneys the hydration they've been quietly waiting for. It's a small act, but one that signals to your body, I'm paying attention. Then, think about your plate. No need for dramatic shifts. Just start by adding, not removing, one kidney-supporting food each day. Leafy greens like spinach or kale are rich in potassium and magnesium, minerals your kidneys use to regulate blood pressure. Berries, especially blueberries, are packed with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and protect the fragile vessels inside your kidneys. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're simple, affordable, and grounding. When you place them on your plate, you're not just feeding yourself, you're sending nourishment deep into the systems that hold you up. Movement is another gift you can give your kidneys. Not as punishment, not as a resolution, but as a ritual. A 15-minute walk after dinner, gentle stretching while your coffee brews. These moments of movement increase blood flow, lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, all of which directly support kidney health. Picture your blood moving like a river again, not a stagnant pond. Your kidneys are filters, yes, but they're also living, breathing tissue. They thrive on oxygen, on circulation, on motion. You don't need a gym membership, you just need a reason, and your health is reason enough. Processed foods, though convenient, often carry hidden costs. You don't need to eliminate them all, but start noticing them. Read the label on your canned soup, swap a high-sodium snack for a piece of fruit. Cook one more meal at home each week, even if it's just scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach. With each choice, you're turning the volume down on inflammation, pressure, and the constant biochemical stress so many of our kidneys labor under. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. You can also explore herbal allies. In traditional medicine, herbs like parsley, dandelion, and ginger have long been used to support the urinary tract and ease kidney workload. A simple parsley tea or a few slices of fresh ginger in hot water after a meal. These aren't magic bullets, but gentle nudges. They remind the body of its own intelligence. They support the kidney's natural rhythm without overwhelming it. You're not trying to force change. You're trying to create the conditions in which healing can happen. And there's something else, something modern life has quietly stripped away from many of us. Rest. Your kidneys, like your heart, like your mind, need recovery. Sleep is not just a break. It's when the body does its deepest repair work. If you're waking up tired, if you're pushing through exhaustion with caffeine, your kidneys are carrying that weight. Creating an evening routine, dimming lights early, putting your phone away, allowing yourself to wind down may seem unrelated to kidney health, but it's all connected. The calmer your nervous system, the more efficiently your organs function. Peace in the mind becomes peace in the body. Once a week, consider giving your kidneys what I call a rest day. Not a fast, not deprivation, just a day where you choose lighter foods, more water, less meat, less salt. A day where you listen more, rush less, nourish better. This simple rhythm can have an outsized effect over time. It gives your kidneys a break from the heavy lifting. Think of it like taking the weight off a joint that's been overworked. Rest doesn't mean weakness. It means wisdom. This is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming a more attentive version of who you already are. Every act of care, however small, sends a message to your body. I see you. I'm here for you. And for many older men, that's a message we haven't heard or believed in a long time. Because I know, I've seen it again and again, many of you have quietly begun to lose hope. Maybe your energy isn't what it used to be. Maybe you've noticed swelling, or foggy thinking, or restless sleep. Maybe you've started to believe that this is just how aging feels. But I'm here to tell you something I told Gerald, something I've told dozens of men who sat in front of me with quiet resignation in their eyes. It's not too late. The body never gives up on you, even when you've given up on it. It's always adapting, always reaching toward balance, if we let it. I don't want you to think of these changes as chores or rules. I want you to think of them as respect. Respect for the years your body has carried you. Respect for the systems that kept working, even when you ignored them. Respect for the future that's still unfolding, because you are still here, still breathing, still capable of change. Gerald's journey wasn't fast. There were weeks he felt discouraged, days when he wanted to fall back into the ease of old habits. But what kept him going wasn't fear. It was noticing how he began to feel more alive again. Clearer mind, better sleep, more steady energy. His numbers improved, yes, but more than that, he improved. He began showing up in his own life differently, not just surviving, living. Gerald's journey wasn't fast. There were weeks he felt discouraged, days when he wanted to fall back into the ease of old habits. But what kept him going wasn't fear, it was noticing how he began to feel more alive again. Clearer mind, better sleep, more steady energy. His numbers improved, yes, but more than that, he improved. He began showing up in his own life differently. Not just surviving, living. And that, in the end, is what this is all about. Not just kidney function, or lab results, or prescriptions, but vitality, the kind that lets you travel without fear, play with your grandkids without exhaustion, wake up and feel connected to the day ahead instead of buried by it. That future is not a fantasy. It's a path, and it starts with a single choice. Maybe it's the water in the morning. Maybe it's going for that walk you've been putting off. Maybe it's booking the checkup you've avoided. Whatever it is, start. Don't wait for motivation. Begin with intention. The rest will follow. And when you do start, remember, you're not doing this alone. There are millions of men walking this road, many quietly, many humbly. Some already on the path, others just now waking up to the possibility of a healthier life. Wherever you are, you belong here. You are part of that movement. If this message resonated with you, if something stirred in you, even quietly, I invite you to hold on to it. Share it with a friend or a brother who might be walking the same road. Leave a comment with the one change you're ready to try. Subscribe if you want more guidance that meets you where you are, not with hype, but with heart. I'm Dr. Camila Cruz, and I believe in the healing intelligence of the body and in the strength of men who choose to pay attention even after years of distraction. Your kidneys have carried you through more than you know. Now maybe it's time to carry them forward. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're just beginning to listen, and that is the beginning of healing.